forget that moment. When the sun fell. We will do what we must.
A legend takes shape. A tapestry woven in blood and ambition. Beyond borders, the hunger stars!
Recall the unfaded glory, dormant for 1,000 years, but still glittering in your palm.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. It is good time. It is good time. It actually the T war that we just barely got finished up with was a pretty big hit to us in a land sense. But I think we held up as good as we could, honestly, against 4 other alliances. You know, gnarly. I think it was 4 alliances. I know there for sure were 4 houses stacks that was trying to take out like 2 of our stacks. So, yeah, pretty crazy stuff tonight. Right now we're probably gonna start hitting up sieges soon. Right now we're just doing some unit testing, trying to figure out the best counters for the cart. At least that's what my officer is up to. I will be joining them in a bit here. I hope you guys enjoyed the new intro thing that I kind of spliced together. Conqueror's Blade has some great trailers. I recommend you go and see the originals. These ones were cut. It wasn't the full trailer for each one of these. I just took out a snippet or 2. So if you want to see the full trailer on those, I recommend going and seeing those on the Conqueror's Blade YouTube. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and hop back in the call, and yeah. Here we are.
Relied upon.
Well, so is the charge from the phalanx, because I've also got like a 60-second cooldown on that charge. So if there are multiple phalanxes, yeah, we know the phalanx will do better generally against the chariot than stalwarts will. But it seems like it's a very similar type of thing. That almost did it. I've got a sliver of health left.
I lost like 2 units.
So I think that's the solution. I'm gonna be honest. I think you can run
my units are extremely hurt from that. But that would immediately get the chariot off the field.
Yes, it would.
Are you talking about using stalwarts to tank the cart?
To kill it, not tank it.
Oh, to kill it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Stalwarts can murder it, dude. You get on it, you double tap V, and then you press 1, and you'll destroy it.
Ed, what we're testing is he's using the stand fast ability, which gives them CC immunity for 2.5 seconds. So they get all of their damage off. And we just tested it. So he had a 1 second time to react and turn his stalwarts around. So they were facing.
Maybe it would like take maybe 2.5 seconds
around and braced.
Reaction.
Yeah. Nice.
And that put my chariot at a sliver of health, with most of his unit being, what was it, like 1/4 HP left?
And
you're saying that his stalwarts get a second of invulnerability to CC?
Units, and most of my units were like half critical.
Half? That, well, you're trading a purple unit for a gold one. That's incredibly efficient if you time your CC immunity right with the brace. So I think that paired with phalanx could actually work.
I thought phalanx on its own would destroy a chariot, but
no.
Yeah.
Well,
no.
It can if you charge straight at it, but why would a chariot charge straight at a phalanx ever?
True.
They move so slow, they rotate slow, so you just get on their back, so it's easy. So the phalanx solution I was thinking of is using the pike charge to turn directions immediately and deal massive damage to the chariot, which is similar to the rotating the direction of the chariot and bracing with CC immunity with the stalwart. It's very similar in how that works.
Do all mastered stalwarts get that?
I know they don't have control, but they have the second to stun cavalry.
That stops them. Did you lose any guys?
No, they're not critically injured, and they barely took any damage.
Okay, well, go heal them up real quick, and I'll swap to my Spartans. Let's see how well they do against those.
Is that a doctrine then that's making it so that you have
yes, it's
immunity?
the stand fast doctrine. Yes, it is.
Oh, that makes sense then. Because I was gonna say I definitely don't
What are you
have
talking about on the
immunity.
Modao?
No,
No,
we
the
were talking about the
stalwarts.
stalwarts.
Right.
So let's see how Modao do against Spartans.
Just wondering why your units are fancier than mine. That's all.
Yeah, well, actually. Can I... Wow, that was actually difficult to get my
Well, dude,
finger
what
off.
is going on with the house chat, bro?
Why wouldn't Modao
I don't know.
be
Do I dare
good?
read it?
Because you're winning this, right? I'll even heal my guys.
Why is Pandetta going ham, dude? Like, what is going on?
Sounds like Pandetta's got a
That's where it
vendetta.
happens. Okay, so the Spartans do beat... The Spartans do beat
The
Modao.
Spartans are too enduring. They would win that fight, no problem, if they didn't heal.
Well,
Here we
you
go.
did a good amount of damage to my Spartans before they got their charge off, but as soon as they got their charge off, your Modao were screwed.
Did you guys
So
need one of my units?
I still would prefer, we need your Swine Feathers, because we wanted to test Swine Feather against Chariot.
Oh, yeah.
Swine feathers are hero killer units. They will single target out units as well.
Yeah, swine
Okay,
feathers
so we
are
need
great because
to-
they can set up anti-cav walls, basically.
Which, in my mind, as the Chariot, maybe I come around a corner and I run into them on accident.
Yeah,
I don't
it,
think it would
But
just
run into
run.
them directly.
so
Yeah.
what will happen is your chariot, if the pikes are close enough together, it'll either get your chariot stuck, or if they're far enough together, you'll run into a couple of them and your chariot will most likely break.
Well, how are you thinking of that in application, Ed? Are you thinking of putting it in a route that the Chariot is trying to come down to stop it? Or are you thinking of dumping it on a specialty unit? Like, let's say we have cannons guarding the front gate. You're going to put another
It would be
specialty
far more
unit.
likely for me to dump it right behind our specialty unit. The reason being is because there's a cooldown on how long the spears will stay there. Like, they don't stay there for very long. It's something like 30 seconds, maybe a little longer. Honestly, I feel like I should stay there for like a good solid 2 minutes, but alas,
That
no.
means you're double stacking specialty. You have two specialties that we're trying to consolidate into the job of one. We
Right.
need one specialty that's decent at dealing damage to infantry and pushes and things like that, and will also deal with the chariot.
Well, for musket, swine feather is going to deal your highest damage in terms of a musket unit.
Wait, muskets. Swine feather are a crossbow unit.
No, swine
Swine feather
feather
are
are
musket.
muskets.
They're from Lion
Oh
Roar.
wait,
They're
sorry,
from
sorry,
Lion
I'm
Roar.
thinking of black. Swine feather are, yes, they have the ability to put their pig sticks, which actually clog and do heavy damage
To
the
any
chariot.
cav. Yeah, any chariot, any cav, it can deal immense damage.
You want to test the chariot against the swine feather? I mean the black
Yeah.
tortoise regiment?
Sure. Swap to that. Back to that. Yeah, I still don't think Modao is good. Because one, the chariot has to charge directly into them. Which I don't think they would. Unless they were distracted.
They're very mobile for a pole arm. And bracing only takes like 1.5 seconds.
Okay, so we're gonna first test me just going straight at you, and then we're gonna test me trying to avoid the fire.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay, here I come.
They don't... Oh, they survive that?
Shaleen.
Yeah, but that's straight on. That's not even me trying to avoid the fire, and it's... It's not even. I don't think they would. I think the Demonese crossbows do better with their number 2, from what I'm seeing secret testing.
Okay, what about the swine feathers?
Do you have those? Okay. Do you want to put up your spikes and then just let me run into them and see how that interacts?
Try that
Yeah,
first,
I'll
yeah.
set them up right in front. I forgot I could do this ability where you can
Well.
hold 3 and actually position.
What I would say,
it set up?
Sim, is try to, like, try to go over, like, see if you can get through them. That's kind of my question
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Because if you can somehow get through them, then yeah, that's gonna
Easy.
not. be
Oh,
best.
nope. If I charge directly into them, it kills my chariot.
Yep.
Okay, what
Yep.
about a lesser formatted area where the swine feathers
Well,
represent
we
the-
know that their spikes will now kill the chariot. So what I'm
Yeah.
thinking, how
What about
can you explain to me exactly how the spikes work? Like when you plant them down, is there a cooldown until they disappear, or like how does
There's
that
a cooldown until they disappear. There's a cooldown until you can place more, and in order to place more, you have to go and resupply. So
work? Is it
it's
a one-time use?
I think it
no?
is a
They can resupply the
two-time-
spike.
Yeah, they can
How many
resupply
times,
it, but
like,
it's
how many times can they place spikes in one bar or one ammo thing?
Okay. I'm
once. So it's like a one-time usability, and then you have to resupply and wait for the cooltime to come off.
And how long does it last?
30
Is it a
over 30
cooldown?
seconds. It's a cooldown of over 30
This
seconds.
one's a line formation.
And it's cooldown and ammo?
Correct.
So it has a cooldown to place it, and once you place it, you have to resupply before you can use the cooldown again.
Correct. That's the like if it wasn't
Yeah.
for that, then you could just have swine feathers out on the field ready to bait any cav at any moment, and it would be kind of
Right.
a little
So
bit
the
busty,
problem
but
is,
yeah,
if you're-
that's its biggest debuff is the ammo.
So you, like as a chariot
But
player, I come
for,
around
like,
a corner,
a
I
line,
see
they
those
can
spikes, and I
literally-
just turn around.
Yeah, you just turn around, you
Or-
wait for them to go away, and then swine feathers won't have
There
anything
goes-
after that unless they resupply.
There goes 30 seconds plus movement time to resupply in value that your unit should be getting. And he just tried barraging the chariot down, and it took, what was it, 3-4 barrages of shots?
The
Swine
thing
feathers.
Be
is, they're
surprised
good
if
for
it
like
killed it that
closing down
fast.
a lane of area denial for any cav to get through in the moment of time.
Yeah,
Right. So if there's a call for gate push, three chariots coming through gate, if we set that up fast enough, I could see it working. But
Yeah.
I don't think that would happen in the chaos of things. You would have to have a swine feather crew sitting at gate, much like a phalanx would, just in better value. Or
The thing is that these
Take it
swine feathers
special
are
spot.
hero killers because they don't have penalty towards heroes.
and they deal high
are they
damage,
better than Black
so
Tortoise?
Black Tortoise Regiment.
I have no idea because I don't know what Black Tortoise is.
It's
You
the
want to try to run
crossbow.
your chariot through the line formation instead? They. I'm gonna run up and then you just running down.
that
What the fuck?
too much. That didn't do near as much.
Was it too early? Because you didn't take damage going through that.
Yeah, I don't think it was because I see all the spikes are gone. No, dude,
Yeah.
I just
I
went
think
through
it
those other
may have been
spikes
the
on top.
animation when. For a second there.
Do you want to place them down and then I'll run through them?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that again.
I'm not feeling good
Like,
about
I
this
didn't
swine
see
feathers.
no damage on your chariot from when it smashed through, unless it did. The game didn't register it in that.
Yeah,
split second.
spikes might have disappeared.
I'll put it this way: I would choose swine feathers over fusiliers any day, but the problem is that swine feathers are kind of like I'm saying, because it requires ammo for their
Situational.
thing. It very situational. Yep.
It takes macro. What I'm
Yes.
thinking is that it takes effort to manage
Okay.
the unit, where you have to be paying attention.
Yep.
And whoa,
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that?
that did it.
So So line
But-
formation might be much more better than the
Line formation is gonna tighten it up better.
Oh yeah, you just
so
whacked
yeah.
me too.
they don't have hero damage penalty.
Yeah.
So they'll do full damage on you.
They're like, yeah, if you're able to time your spikes, then you could knock a cart down and then snipe the hero, I think is what you're trying to say. So they just
what we're
insta
testing
kill.
is if I come barreling down on specialty, like if I'm playing a cart and I want to try and get on top of like a lion roar crew. Swine feathers can drop their pikes and prevent me from going down that lane completely. Because if I run into those pikes
Yeah.
with my chariot, it's just dead.
Right.
I actually want to try one more thing, and it's with these. Their bleed, I don't think there's a limit to how many stacks they could put with bleed. But it does heavy, so I want to see what it does to the chariot.
Okay.
Because the chariot can still be status effects can be still applied to the chariot, yeah.
Yeah, there's an anti-cavalry that does percent health, which is the doctrine that I would love to have on phalanx. That I think would definitely do the best.
Nah, I just want to do this as a test of damage. Because
Am I
the
just holding still?
the
Oh, you're doing
dogs and
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough damage, and I can just, with minimal effort, I can deal with the dogs, because they don't stop me like they usually do.
If we
That's not
ever
even sprint.
unfortunately, the only benefit I see for the houndsman is going against like heavy armored troops, because the bleed can go right through any defense.
Yeah, but even then, your rattan vipers do better, and they're a blue unit for that effect.
Rattan vipers.
Yeah, they inflict a bleed or a poison. It's very similar to that.
Yeah, mine are maxed, and they have the
If we have, ooh, Panda, you've got a chariot, right?
Wasn't there an interesting ability for the Quinn's footbow where if they get 10 stacks, they can execute a unit no matter how much health it has?
I mean, I can look at the doctrines on my Quinn's foot bows real quick because I've got the good doctrines for them, and I can add that.
It's the veterancy line.
Mine are maxed,
All right.
so I can pull mine. Let me look at
Yeah.
the doctrines, and I'll also add the slow doctrine to my phalanx. Phalanx. You veterancy's bottom line doctrines. I already have the slow doctrine.
I'm gonna put one more custom matchup, and if y'all wanna enter it,
Yeah, if anybody wants to get in to test stuff, you can. So I'm going to take my
okay.
leadership doctrine off and add my slow doctrine. So I have all of my other doctrines plus the slow.
How doth
see
I
how it
how
does.
doth I join? There we go.
And then I was also doing my keen footbows.
Let's see.
I wanna try one more thing. It may be
Doctrine,
stupid in
Ha-
regards.
I'm dumb. I don't know how to join custom games.
increase ignition.
You gotta go to the sheriff.
So if I
To
replace
share?
you with
The sheriff.
Oh, the sheriff. Got it.
I could add that nice doctrine, but it increased additional burning damage from ignition bolt. Sure. We'll add their two specific doctrines. And then,
Which one is our? Oh, IS unit training. Yep, there we go.
so
Just have to
double shot and
read.
then shooting accuracy is what I have in addition.
Yeah, the double shot is to get the stacks up.
Right. So I've got that. So I think we're good. And then I've got the slow doctrine.
And then there's the new doctrine for them, which increases the duration of ignition bolt.
Yeah, I have both of those.
What does pass?
So in theory, If they
Okay.
get, what, 10 stacks on a unit, they can execute it, no matter how much health it has.
Yeah. Do you have Panda? Panda.
Eh,
Panda.
What is the lobby
Panda.
pass?
I need your chariot. Damn.
shit.
Do you have a chariot, Shuka?
Oh no, sorry.
Damn. Does anybody else have the Keen's foot bows with both of the class-specific docks?
Did you say bows? No.
Keen foot bows.
Can execute enemies with 10 stacks of spark.
Do they do well?
Okay, what's the pass to the lobby? Because I kind of just want to join and watch at the very least.
Is it AE?
I can
Capital A, capital E?
capital A, capital E.
There we go.
It stands for AE.
Yeah, beyond.
A-E-I-O-U.
If there's anything that you do want to test against the chariot, Ed, we can do that.
You ready?
Okay.
Or someone else
Yep.
joining?
I think you're good.
Mine are list level 10, not level 18 yet. But yeah, that status effect should apply to executing the chariot, no matter how much health it has. It should still apply these status effects.
Yeah, but the way they fire is just it's so goofy. I don't see it happening. Because it's surprisingly easy to avoid shots from ranged. Like
Yeah,
I've even gone past quarrying.
I want to pull out my
Just
halberd
fine with the chariot.
sergeants.
I'm gonna do something dumb and bring out these nut bags. These nutty units.
But I'm definitely not feeling the IPGs against the chariot. I don't think they would do very good. They might do in a death ball.
I want you to directly attack me with these.
All right, coming straight at you. Broom, broom.
Did none of them. None
zero,
of them.
zero
hit.
damage. Like I'm
None
barely,
of them. Bruh.
I'm barely even seeing.
Has
Okay, hold on. Go and get healed or
'Kay.
whatever you need, and I'll
Okay.
position mine right
Brace, yeah,
there.
brace yours, Ed. No, come and hit him.
All right, they're ready.
Straight on. Here I come. Wait, wow, you're stopping me.
Yeah, it's
How
stopping
many
you,
did you
but
lose? I didn't
I
get any
lost
kills.
none. And you dealt
You're not
almost
killing
no
me
damage.
either. So that's neutral. Like if I charge you straight on, like Ed,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, if you happen to charge me
If
straight on.
you really want me to do it, this is what it looks like. Oh, actually, you stopped me. That's even worse for me. I took half damage, but
Nah, I
still,
think one of
that-
my guys
that's
lost
neutral.
a quarter HP, something like that.
So what'll happen is
So-
you'll stop. You'll hold the chariot in place, but then I
Sergeant
pull out,
Halberdiers can hold the chariot in place, and then I can bomb it, get you
Then
out of
I-
it, and then you die or something.
Okay, heal your sergeants and then bring them here,
Okay.
because this is the true test.
They're not gonna.
Oh, they're
survive that.
they're not
This
gonna
is- yep.
survive that, dude. They're
This is
so
where
effed.
they're gonna fold immediately. This is where
Yep.
they fold immediately.
Yeah, it's immediate.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Even-
kind of
even with the
alive,
stalwart
but
in there.
I'm not dealing enough damage is the problem. Oh, no, you hop on them and now they're getting Scrooged.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the end of the
so
charge.
they're
That's the
good.
problem.
They're good anti-cav, but they suck against proper infantry.
Yeah, Spartans even clap stalwarts and halberds.
Stalwarts
together.
and halbs
That
together
was-
get clapped by Spartans. That's crazy.
Yeah, both of you were stacked there, and they just went through them just fine. Minimal casualties.
Damn.
That's the
Their
problem.
ability to hit
Oh.
so many troops at once.
I'm not even running top tree either. That's the crazy part.
Well, that's one of the main things I wanted to test because I saw that halbs were able to stop them very good. And what was crazy is I saw a test from 3 weeks ago, and the halbs that they were using one-tapped the chariot and fucked it up. So I'm wondering what they changed. Like, I wonder if his halbs were, like, knockback resistant or something like that. That's the only way that makes sense.
Halberdiers don't have knockback resistance.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
So, halbs will stop the chariot. Like if you just brace them in a death ball, they will stop the chariot, and then it's up
Yeah.
to the other things to stop or to kill it.
Correct.
What about the Fort Brachio?
But halbs aren't going to do anything against units. Like phalanx can kill the
Oreo
chariot.
Brachio
Phalanx
trades,
can
basically.
also kill the fuck out of other units. So
Yeah.
the more we test stuff, the more I'm agreeing with Secret, and that's that we need more phalanx.
Hold on.
And I want to try
Let me
using the snap charge.
let me pull the blue halbs. They're probably not going to do as well, but I want to see if they do any like worse, if that makes sense.
So if
Okay.
you have the slow pike doctrine, it works on all the pikes to slow the chariot if you have it. So you
Here, I'm
can
going
run
to
that if you
position
want.
my guys off to the side.
Because apparently slows are not CZ to the game.
Med. Yeah, nope. That's
They
even
did
worse
a
than
hell of a
the
lot
sergeant.
worse. Yep, the sergeants actually
Fort
held them
Brachio?
back, but the blues like barely did anything.
We guard the Empire.
Do the 40s?
You can try 40s, but they don't turn fast enough, and
40s,
only
if you
trade straight
charge
on.
straight into them,
Yeah.
then yeah, but yeah, much like the phalanx.
they won't turn.
But the Fort Brachio turn faster than the Phalanx.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Uh,
test that.
they increased it, but like the radius is really small though. That they decreased the radius.
They'll
They
target the nearest
Yeah.
unit.
just kind of.
They'll target the most reachable unit.
Got some Imperial pikes that I kind of want to.
Yeah, I'm at half HP now. Once I hit them from the side, it felt like they did not rotate quick enough. I do think phalanx with the charge. With the charge doctrine would do it. Because that's the quickest way to change the direction of a pike unit, is to use the pike assault doctrine.
I've
do
got
you
some
got, Ed?
regular Imperial pike guards. I don't know if you've tested those yet. Oh,
Oh, we have watch out jacks. You can walk on, you can do whatever you like. I'm gonna. Yeah, you
that is
dealt
so
no
weird
damage.
because a 3
Well,
weeks ago thing I was looking at, like every time the cart touched anti-cav, it got fucked.
So what we tested
did
is
they
we tested him
change it
doing the
then?
walk ability. We tested him doing the walk ability, and at the end of the walk, he used the stab, or the Russian stab. He only dealt half the damage of the chariot's health. So I'm
So
not feeling
is
impact.
the chariot technically a hero unit or a
It's technically a unit.
unit?
It's technically a unit
So
unit. The
would it
hero is
would it
positioned on
count
top.
for? I don't know.
I
This
think
is
it's
possible
technically
enough.
counted as cavalry.
Correct. That is supposed to be its technicality. That's why it counters infantry so fucking hard.
So would it still fight back, even if it gets disarmed?
You could try disarming it. So should I charge what's in front of me? See what happens?
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't think being disarmed is a requirement because, yeah, whoa, hey, I stopped. I can't.
You're
I'm having a hard
slowed.
time moving. Yeah.
It looked like you got slowed by him for a second.
It was right when I used the ability.
Yeah, but I move stuff out of the way. Because I knock everything out of the way before that ability happens, With enough finagling, it'll happen. But I'm not feeling that either.
Wow, that dealt like
Yeah,
no
nope.
damage.
Maybe
Yeah,
when
that's
they
a no.
like, maybe when they actually like lock it down, will they actually do the damage?
Well, you did that ability where they all turned white and they charged directly at me, and I had 0 momentum. I used W plus shift and immediately knocked them all away. So I don't think automation are the solution either.
Okay, I don't have the brace doctrine thing.
They're very
but-
fast if you put a mobility doctrine on them. Like getting them in that turn maybe on the back.
I don't think that matters because I can just use my drift to swap around really quickly and then just tap shift. I wasn't even like full sprint movement. I tapped shift and immediately knocked your whole troop down again.
I want you to back charge my stalwarts and see how much damage you do with one charge.
Okay.
There's these crap.
Because I have that.
momentum?
Yeah, full momentum. I have that.
Doing about
Anti-
2,600 to 3,000 to hit.
Oh, well, one of them died, but the rest of them lived with about half to almost full HP. So.
Yeah, so what means I had figured out with the stalwarts is you're gonna take that damage no matter what with the chariot. But
You
what
want to try
using
the turn and burn with these guys?
turn and burn? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes, that was. Yeah, I can just. They aren't getting anything done.
Yeah, they're dealing literally no damage.
Yeah.
See, this is what's crazy is that it feels like that 3 weeks ago the cart
The
was
knockback
way
is
less
just a
tanky.
Massive.
I don't know
thing.
what they did, but
Yes.
it just seems way more tanky than what I've seen on a guy that did a review on the cart like 3 weeks ago. So I don't know
The most
what they
successful
changed, dude.
thing that I'm seeing is
Phalanx?
period.
Yeah,
Because they're the best
Phalanx.
anti-cav in the game. And then stalwarts with the
Stalwarts with that anti
fast.
CC.
the CC immunity for 2.5 seconds. It doesn't help with the damage. Like, they take the damage from the chariot, but with the CC immunity, they also get their damage off.
They get their damage off, which helps a
So
lot
it's
with
essentially
taking
you're
it out.
trading. If all of your stalwart units, because we tested it where I charged directly at him.
Yeah.
If all of your stalwarts hit the chariot, then you will put it at a sliver of health left.
So
It's
that
liver.
means
So you
shit.
could trade a stalwart for a chariot with that ability well timed.
Wait, so hold on.
So
Hold on, let me think.
if we're talking no hero play, that was about 1/3 my chariot's HP. If we're talking no hero play, just unit v unit, the stalwart using its brace, and if all units get their hit off, I'm down to about 1/8 HP now with that second barrage. So I don't think that's viable because I would have to be holding still too.
Okay, these guys have. Those guys don't have a very much mastery. These guys, however, I have quite the mastery on.
But the stalwarts can trade. Oh, I was healing up, so I don't know how much that was. I want to say that it was about 1/3 HP, maybe a little less, 1/4. But the stalwarts can trade their damage, so you're trading the stalwart unit because the stalwart takes half damage, I think is what it was, about 1/3 to 1/2 damage for the chariot charging through it. But you're also working around a cooldown that is 60 seconds. So if there are 2 chariots, you activate
hold
it
on.
for 1 chariot, you deal tons of damage to it, but then a second chariot comes running through, you don't stand a chance.
I want to test something with the swine feathers, but it has to do with infantry. So if you want to like bring some stalwarts, What I want to do
got
is I want to set up the wall and see if you can walk through it without having
You
to
want
go
me to-
around.
Advance through it or X through it?
Just X through it.
Okay.
Here, hold on. There we go.
Those pick sticks actually work against infantry.
Nope. Wait, one guy made it through.
One guy made it through. It's because I fucked up on
Okay,
placing him.
With a little fendangling, I can.
I see. So then the question is, with swine feathers, does that mean that you could lock down a lane entirely and just be able to rain fire and protect from that lane?
The answer is yes, Ed, but then you're using two specialties to do one specialty's job. That's the problem. Is we need a specialty unit that will deal with the that will deal with the chariot and do the specialty's job. Do you have lion roars yet?
I don't have lion roars yet. I want them so bad, dude. Oh.
Do you have them, Blight? Do you have the lion roar?
The lion's roar? Yeah, I have the lion's roar.
Do you want to pull them out and we'll see how much damage they do to the chariot?
A direct shot or
Yeah, I'll just stand there and let you shoot me, and then we'll see if you
Alright.
can shoot me while I'm moving around.
he's a grape shot.
Which
Shot,
I'm
so-
assuming is no. I don't think you can hit me while I'm moving around, but I think you can hit me if I'm holding still. No, that's nope.
These guys
That's
aren't
150
really good
HP.
for direct shots. They're mostly to like spread carnage over a vast amount of groups.
They're more anti-infantry from what I've seen their usage, so yeah.
Yeah, they were directly meant to counter Spartans.
But yeah, you want to see, man,
They were supposed to counter Spartans and phalanx. Kind of all infantry, including anti-cav infantry.
Well, tercios, yeah, those are your tercios. I can feel it because they're, but I can avoid. Like, look, I'm avoiding the shots for way too long.
it's those turns that is gonna screw you over.
Yeah, but usually I'm only doing that around sharp corners where I have cover anyway. Like,
Yeah.
I've got so much room for error to escape. So much.
I would probably choose swine feathers over the tercio if that's the case.
No, I wouldn't do that because as soon as I see your spikes, I'm not going that way anymore. You can block one of 5 lanes.
You can block a lane, but you're not gonna be
Yeah,
able to, like,
a lane.
Right,
Which
A
there,
lane, yeah.
There's never just one lane in this game.
The only time there's a one lane is in the goddamn gate. And that's it.
And the idea is that phalanx solve the problem.
Right.
plus these
and we're
guys also
wanting-
have an anti-cav on them.
We're wanting to replace the phalanx with a specialty that will deal with the cavalry, with the chariot. When I think it's just more efficient to run the phalanx, because you need a specialty that will deal with the chariot and deal with units, which is exactly what
That's
phalanx
exactly what
does.
phalanx does, yeah. The only issue that
See,
I think
The
they
moment I see
had...
you turn is I'm gonna use that ability.
Right.
So...
And those are your tercios, right?
Yep, those are my high-level tier COs.
The only
So
problem...
I could see tercios working with
Plus,
management.
they've taken like literally less damage from you when you were running through them a few times.
Yeah, well, here, let's try it one more time. All right.
Like as long as I can keep.
Now that got it.
Like it's the moment that you directly charge at me, I guess.
The moment you get a
Yeah, I'm gonna use
direct
the
line
ability.
of attack with your bullets, yeah.
I could
So
swap
if I
the sharpshooter
just
for something
move
else.
this direction and then just swap this way and go.
That
That
definitely
still does
worked
decent
better.
damage. Yeah, that went far better for me that time.
Still, you took heavy loss, and if I'm with a troop, you're gonna take a lot of the heat.
Yeah, but Phalanx also does that. But Phalanx is better at dealing damage to units than
They have the highest. They have a very high survivability rate, but the tertios have the highest like piercing penetration.
So I'm thinking
Yeah.
Well,
I'm thinking in
I don't think
tier,
the wagon or the
if I were
cart
to
has
rate
that
it.
much armor though, does it?
If I were to, I think it's like 1,000. It has 1,100 of each armor.
Oh
I
yeah.
can look at the attributes of my
Any
warband.
musket is gonna penetrate that then, like no
But
problem.
I'm thinking in tier, like in order of the best to worst of the things we've tested so far. I would say
What
the
about-
best thing for dealing with the chariot is the phalanx. The
So
Okay, I
far,
want
yes.
one more
stalwart
test.
As number one.
with the steadfast.
I want to do one more test, and it's with the
The
matchlock
question
Ashigaru.
is though, is we
I mean
need
not the matchlock, the elite imperial arcablisters, because when they
Oh,
shoot
okay.
a cavalry unit, it takes 33% more damage.
interesting.
Are you ready?
Yes,
Straight or all over the place?
just attack now. Yeah,
They're missing.
Way too easy. Well, actually, I took a decent amount of damage.
I think a lot of ranged units do really
Ah.
good damage to the chariots. Even longbows can take them out like 3 volleys.
Yeah, I had a little bit of experience with longbows. It just takes way too long for you to kill them with that unit. Your tercios are far better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just saying, like any pikes
in
or
a
ranged
lane,
units
they
would
would
be good.
probably be beneficial.
So, yeah.
Because they're doing more damage to your cavalry unit because of the 33% more damage and, well, like a percentage of bleed.
Yeah.
But that's only when you stop. It stops your thing,
We-
so that's impossible.
We just have to remember that we cannot have 2 specialty units dedicated to taking out the chariots.
True. So the question is,
mean-
so we
So
already
the
know
idea
that
is if we
phalanx is
have-
best.
Right, so if we have phalanx on the board, if our primary units are Spartans and phalanx can do good at countering the chariot, then we need a specialty that is good with assisting with the chariots and is good at taking care of a push.
Can I try one more thing? And this is with you doing a. This is if you doing a. The Spartans.
Oh,
Either one of them, like. Walking, and I have an angle on them to hit their backs with the tertio.
Sure.
With,
bring
and they have the
bring
unity
your unit.
ability, which. They share amongst each other.
Ed, bring your unit so that I can get charged up for my. Oh, actually, yeah. So you want me backs facing? There you go.
How much was that?
Third. They're not healing because they're not hitting anything either. Yeah, I don't know about that one, Chief.
Yeah, Spartans are gonna dice them up.
Yeah, so I'm thinking what the best things to run for it is phalanx, followed by surprisingly the stalwarts with the steadfast,
Yeah. Stalwarts
followed
with
by
steadfast.
tercios. Yeah,
Cursios. Can I
well,
see the
you
cursios?
specifically have to.
What are,
Tertios-
what are cursios?
That's
Well,
what he was using. They destroy the cart in 1.5 volleys if they land.
Oh, the
all
tertios.
shots.
They destroyed a cart in
Okay.
3 hits with the volley.
They seem to have a harder
Yeah, I
time
guess
taking
it's
out
rapid fire for it.
the infantry, though. That seems to be.
Yes, they do.
Strange.
I'll admit they do
They
decent
not-
damage.
not- there's a support support unit. They're not supposed to like directly fight a 1v1.
Right,
They're
right.
supposed to
I am
work with
aware.
units.
Yeah.
Their damage is not negligible. Like, I wasn't like, oh, I can just ignore that unit. I was taking damage, so it does decent in that prospect.
Sure.
But like Lion Roar does far better, so I would think running
Yeah.
Phalanx plus Lion Roar would be a better combination
Probably the
than
best combo
Phalanx
we're
and
looking
Tercio.
for.
You know,
Yeah. The best possible
mean-
combo would be to have that steadfasted stalwart with the phalanx, with a tertio, and with the
yes,
that other thing, the
I
cannon
I
guys.
think
I forget
that
what they
that
are.
would
Lion
be
Roar.
best. Having a steadfasted stalwart to cover for a phalanx would stop probably 3 chariots with ease
Yeah.
if they are macro or microed properly.
Right.
Especially if you use the phalanx's pike charge to take out a chariot. That's usually used to snipe heroes.
I mean,
if
I've
you have
gotten
a
some
solid
really
pack-
good games with Tertios getting like 63 kills, 2 hero kills.
Yeah, they've got damage. They've got damage and they're decent. So I think it's viable. I think that those 3 units are
is
viable
viable.
in T-War specifically.
The thing is, though, is once we have both the stalwart and the phalanx, I feel like we've got good counter there. So what do you think about switching tertio
With the
with Senji?
stalwarts, with the like tertios, like the stalwarts will like be a threat to any like chivalry, you know, those types of units. Have you tested the break formation for against the stalwarts with any cav before?
The
Break
break
formation?
formation?
Like-
Any
No,
you
larger
assume
one?
that could like kill them completely?
Like what? Axe lancers or like stalwarts?
Anything that directly hits them.
Stalwarts can
I
deal.
don't have anything that would do that.
Stalwarts can kind of deal with cav.
I don't think I've
reason?
seen any cav do well into stalwarts directly, like head
Yeah.
on, head to head.
They would,
If
they
it's
would still,
behind
like,
them,
you
it's
know, do
good,
the
but
damage.
yeah.
But
Well, in a recent siege, I watched Droop charge hussars into a pack of braced stalwarts, and they died. It was atrocious.
alright, then you do that to me.
Hey guys, how's the
I don't
testing
have.
going? Somebody want to pop
Uh,
a screen?
I think we have a top 3 for dealing with the chariot.
Okay.
Phalanx, of course. Stalwarts with the steadfast doctrine, because I charged directly into his pack of stalwarts. He steadfasted them.
Can
My chariot was left with a sliver of health left.
you show me? Can you show me? Or no?
Yeah, of course I can.
You need to pull out yours because I don't have steadfast on mine.
No, you want me my stalwarts?
So,
Yep.
so stalwarts,
I
but the
don't- he
CC
doesn't
immunity
have-
is countering the chariot.
With
Yeah.
CC immunity, it's not killing it completely, it's just almost killing it. But it's a trade.
Interesting. A
So
trade
if he's
is
paying
perfect.
attention, if he's paying attention, he activates it at the right time. See, a massive chunk to my chariot.
But you don't die either. Your unit doesn't die.
Right, his stalwarts. How many did you lose in that charge?
You lost
None.
0.
None that time.
If you combine that with a doctrine that lessens the amount of damage you take from cav, then that could be a
Yeah,
real
they have the
anti-cav
awareness
setup.
doctrine. They have the awareness doctrine grade 5.
Oh, yeah, then they should be kicking ass against cav.
Because
that way.
it counts as cav. Yeah.
So I think that Phalanx paired with CC immune
Stalwart.
stalwarts is a decent way to deal with chariots
Oh
consistently.
yeah, you want to show them the tertio?
Yeah.
Alright, let me get my...
Surprisingly, tercios were
But
our
we're-
third unit of choice.
Yeah, we're not gonna run tercios in T-War, but I'll watch it here. But we're not gonna do that because their cooldown is way too long, and the micro is too long. It's a snapshot. The Arbalist did the same thing. And
That
you
was
have
messed up. I didn't know if you were gonna go for a direct shot or you were gonna do
it
for-
doesn't It doesn't matter. It has inaccuracies like all the other archers and crossbows. Ranged dealing with it is not good because its movement is out of control. It's why the Arbalists didn't do good in T-War, because I couldn't keep up with their movements. Somebody else was always pushing towards my lane, and the chariot would just go around somewhere else, and had
Right.
always had another way to go, someone else to pick on without the ingredients.
Yeah, we were discussing
Yeah.
using feather crossbowmen with their spear drop, but they were like, yeah, as soon as you drop it, you have to resupply. It's a 30-second cooldown, so
So-
you block one of 5 lanes for the chariot, so that's not really viable either.
Yeah, with the swine
Yeah, so
feathers.
kill the
Yeah.
What I'm-
chariot fully
What I'm
either.
interested is seeing the stalwarts in different formations. I'm seeing which
Yeah.
formation that we need to be in. So that the 2 stick going through was good, but if you hit that from the side, you're gonna see it be different as well.
Yeah, so it does require attention and bracing the direction of the chariot and activating the ability at the same time. But I was thinking that something similar is using the charge ability, the pike assault with the phalanx. The pike assault should allow you to immediately one-shot a chariot that's coming from a direction if you're
pike
paying
assault?
attention.
From
Yeah.
failing?
Where if, let's say I'm fighting
Oh,
toward
yeah.
gate and then I have a chariot behind me, if I pike charge it, I can kill it immediately and then turn around and back to the gate fight. Where using the stalwart brace,
I like
It's
this.
similar.
If we can infinitely stack stalwarts and fucking we can infinitely stack that shit. Like we could have 15 people take stalwarts and have them at the same time. Like we can do that. This house can accomplish that. We can just have a stream of stalwarts coming under the points. Like that's something that's accomplishable, right? We may have also figured out a better support line. Me and Rokar were kind of figuring it out. We figured out the proper support line. Having phalanx, like, okay, even if we drop some of the Spartans for just stalwarts and phalanx, like just stacking, just pure mixing stalwarts and phalanx, that could be a pure counter to just overall chariots plus anything else. Well, you do need some Spartans in there, but we could go down to like maybe
Oh.
5 in a stack or 3 in a 4 in a stack.
Shenjis would counter that pretty heavily.
Yeah, but Shenjis won't be viable because if we have a chariot, the chariot's counter the Shenjis. So.
True.
The guns, guys, are not the answer. I'm saying this right now. The guns are not the answer. I'm gonna say it another time. The guns are not the answer. I'm saying this because I know. After 20 seasons of this game, guns are not the answer. They're not the answer. Guns, crossbows. They're not the answer. The only archer that's worth a shit is a Hawarangs, and we got tore up by Hawarangs today. We gotta go back to Hawarangs.
And
They tear up shit.
I'm feeling the stalwarts. Like if we can get people specifically with that CC brace and train up on to pay attention for that,
How thick do we have to be? What formation are we required to be in?
it's the turtle one.
Sure, but what happens when we advance it into a small blob? What happens there? So we need to put that.
We
That's
should
a
try
Great
that.
question, Zep. Do you want to go get your stalwarts and put them in a advanced formation? See how well that does.
So as long as the standfast lasts, the block cannot be broken from stalwarts, and they can actually win pretty much a lot of good fights with them.
So every 5-man should be running 2 Spartans, 1 stalwart, 2 phalanx, or 1 Spartan, 1 stalwart, 2 phalanx, 1 specialty. That should be how every 5-man is blocked. Every 5-man needs to be bricked up with stalwarts, phalanx, and Spartans, and then like 1 or 2 other things. That's it. We need to be bricked up deep with these 4 units, and only those 4 units.
But we need to make
That's-
sure that people are running the CC immunity on stalwarts,
Everybody should be, yeah.
specifically for the chariot.
I have kind of a weird thing that I thought would be interesting. So I was testing
Okay.
out the swine feathers pike formation
Okay, brace
thing
'em, Zep.
that they can do. And me and Sim just tested it, and apparently that
It's not as
keeps. Apparently, it's able to keep units from walking across them.
Yeah, the advanced formation, I would say use it against infantry, but the turtle formation is only used.
Oh, what happened?
against
It went
cav.
through.
Yeah.
It just went through.
I took half the damage that I normally.
As I said,
It spread the units
I
out.
did the stand fast ability with stalwarts because they weren't officially anti-cav. Is that the turtle formation is the best formation against cav. The advanced formation is best against infantry.
Yeah.
Yeah, the turtle formation works against the chariot, but the advanced condensed formation does not work against the chariot.
Yeah, they nerfed
Ju-
it too.
And where did you go again?
I don't nerfed it.
Just for whoever was talking about swine feathers, they do not work against chariot. They are really bad. And
The
the
pig
pikes you put down block your own units.
Yeah, they have collision, allied collision, which is really fun.
That's why I was thinking if you place the swine feather thing right in front of the gate, if they're trying to go through gate, you can literally block them off.
It
Yeah.
takes
For
2 seconds
a
to
certain
break
amount
down.
of
Let's see
time.
that.
But that brings me back to the same thing that we've been talking about, and that is that we're trying to have a specialty unit help with the chariot and solve the chariot and do the damage that we need to the chariot. We're not trying to stack 2 specialty units just to deal with the chariot.
Correct.
We can't. So the rule of 10. So we cannot go under 10 core infantry out at one time, or we don't have the pressure going to the point. If anyone gets intercepted and we go under that 10, what I usually do, I try to stack 12 core infantry. Then you have leeway room for like error. So if one phalanx gets bombed out by artillery before the fight starts, if one of them gets intercepted from the supply, then we still have 10. But if we only have 10, we have 5 specialties that are mixed between actual specialty units and anti-chariot, right? Mixture in the last 5, so maybe have 2 lion roars, or 2 fucking whatever else, 2 keen foot bows, or whatever else, 2 tercios, and we have all that. Then we only have 10 infantry, and if anybody gets cucked or gets bad value or gets suicided, their unit suicides, or they get no value, then we're under the rule of 10, and now we're fighting 9 on 15 pushing units onto a point, right? That's what's happening. So now, significantly, each person is well outmanned by 1 versus 3, right?
Right.
It's just it gets really bad on the field, and then people just die.
We felt that in our ones in fight really bad. I came in reinforcing with my chariot when we had 7 people on the point. By the time I got to the X point with my chariot, I was the only one there, and I had to dive off of my chariot to try and delay the point further.
It's because everybody got intercepted by a chariot that were running around that we couldn't deal with. But then everybody went to resupply because we all have these troops that are fickle. They're all not defense loaded. So what happens is we don't get enough time on the point. The fight is over and decided in 30-40 seconds. And so we have heroes stalling that have units but they can't get off the point to go get it. And all the units we're bringing in are, divided between core infantry and, call them specialties, right? Call them non-core infantry. And so we are fighting back to our point with half the efficiency, and it's because we don't have cav to put in for wiping power. That is the main issue, is we don't have the cav wiping power. And that's because the chariots are countering them. So if we can stack stalwarts, if we can do this with the CC immunity, we can all be running them, we can all train to do this, and we can all show this testing in the form-ups next war, and we can, if we can all just maybe not do maybe we'll just do one big form-up, and I'll go over a list of units for everybody. And what we'll do is we'll talk about what to take, and everybody needs to be taking these units. What we need in every single group is like some Spartans, phalanx, stalwarts. Those 3 just need to be mass spammed, hardcore. We start there, and then we start to adjust. And we need Rokar on Hawarangs. We need Hawarangs. Hawarangs kill so many troops. It's incredible. Having 1 cannon, we're going to drop the Scythos. We're going to run 1 cannon, and we're just going to have that cannon be shooting in with the Hawarangs. And then we just need 1 person on anti-chariot. That's it. And the decision is probably going to be keen footbows or chevaliers. The reason is because what happens is the keen footbows have an insane range. All they got to do is shoot a bunch of arrows into the blob, and they just need some of their arrows to stack on the chariot, and then they explode the arrows. Essentially, they
That's,
shoot another
that's
arrow.
why
and
we
they
were
explode.
talking about like the Keen's bow's ability to execute a unit no matter how much health it has.
Yes, but the thing is, they don't prove good against other units. They just don't do enough damage. They
Their
kill heroes really crazy, but
their
they can
biggest
kill the
downfall,
chariot.
real quick, their biggest downfall is shields, and most of the meta right now is shields, which is why they don't do well.
Yeah, but they can play from such a distance that what happens is
What the
from
fuck?
that, yeah, they can
Yes,
play from
since
such
it
a
insta
distance.
deletes.
They can
That
do that
first
all the way. So get back in your chariot and go up to the
those
gate here.
Keens,
Yeah,
go to
those
the
are
gate.
level 10.
Yep, go to the gate here, get your chariot, go into the gate mouth, and sit into the mouth of the gate there. And now go back to the supply, Mr. Football Man, whoever footballs, sit right there, and then man from fucking supply, shoot into that and blow him up. From the back of supply. Don't get close. Go back. Get back. They
From
can
your
shoot the
supply.
You
from
can
your
sit
supply.
behind supply and still hit that.
You can hit them, yeah, you can at least hit them from the supply for sure, yeah. The accuracy is worse uphill, but look how many. All you gotta do is get it so that it's like the back of the chariot's on fire, right? How many stacks is it? Is that enough there? Now blow,
That's enough.
blow. That's it.
Yeah, I had taken 0 damage until that execute happened.
That's why chariots don't understand that they're about to
That's
die.
not
Which is why
execute.
I've
These are
killed
level
so many
10.
tonight.
They don't have the veterancy point in the.
Or the
Yeah,
execute even. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't even.
There
They
you go.
it doesn't. The problem isn't the execute; it's the burst damage of the stacks exploding. That's what's killing it.
We can keep them out of sight. They are going to be
Oh.
essential into this, but we need to stack them and war ranks together, and probably a cannon unit together. Those three
I
stacking
have
together.
a
That's
double
all
shot
we
launcher.
need. And we have to put that on our objective, behind our objective, always constantly shooting into the objective. Now, the other thing is that like for anybody else, like if anyone has a Chevalier with the Arbalist on there, the Chevaliers, what's going to be good about the Chevaliers, and I was testing them the other day, is that if we can kill the chariot, okay, then they can also provide a cav charge, because cav charges did well today too a little bit, as long as the chariots were taken care of. So like if we can take care of that, the Chevalier, if we have a chariot scenario, the cav, they can charge in far ahead of the crossbows. It just takes some of the cav present to press the 2. So you can charge all the way down a lane, all the men will walk up closer, okay? The cav will go in, strip a bunch of the units, cav charge, okay? They'll do a bunch of damage, weaken a bunch of the heroes, then the main arbalist will shoot a bunch of rapid shots for 8 seconds, boom, 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 and they'll hopefully either clean up weak heroes from the cav charge, or if any chariots become exposed from the units that are dead and people who are fighting there, the cav charge will put damage, other people will be in there fighting, mixed on top, the units should expose a little bit, and if the chariots run around at high speeds, it should come through the point in that same time before those cav die, and because it's a cav charge all the way through, so it can't hit all of them because they spread out in a line. They don't do block. That spread out. If there's some left, then the chariot should come out the other side in time, and that 2 should be activated. And if it gets closer in that direction through, then it will get hit. It'll get popped. You'll get damage on the point, and you'll get pop on chariot. And you have tanky cav stalling for a moment, and then they'll just keep shooting and shooting. During that time, that could be something that makes a high impact play, right? If you mix that with stalwart counters to weaken the chariots, you're going to find a lot better situation. And we can always have the backup of having the Hawarangs shooting full blast into a push, having them shredding the units with high damage, and then we can have the keen foot bows, lighting the chariots in case they're stacking high. That puts us at 2 units that can do what we do. But to do this, we need all 3 of them together. And that means that we don't have cannons. Cannons can also replace the situation because they can also shred the units to expose the chariots. But the problem is they all have to be stacked together. So we still have to have 12 people pushing. I say 11 people pushing core infantry. That's pushing it, man. But having 4 of those units together, that's a lot of chariot killing power for no reason, right? So we just have to be really careful because we have to protect the chariot killers as well. You guys know what I'm saying here?
Right.
That's going to be the situation that you find yourself in more than anything. And that's where people aren't understanding the situation that we're in. We all think that we can just take some other kind of unit in there. You cannot, these other units are not going to do well because you're getting Spartans rammed in your face. You're getting Stalwarts rammed into your face. You're getting Hawarang shooting into your face. You have to, and you have phalanx coming in all over the place. You have to deal with all of that first. So what are Domain Arbalists going to do on their own? What are Keen Footballs going to do on their own? They're really hard to do this. Keen Footballs are it's really hard to get that situation perfect.
The
It's
thing to
easy.
note is that those footbows are really slow. So on attack, they're pretty hard to get into a good spot. The only thing that's going to be viable is maybe if you push gate, pushing them into gate. If you have just like a big ass blob fight to cover Hawarangs so chariots don't just jam the gate mouth. But that's like the only viable solution to using them on attack. They're really only good for defense because they are so mobile.
Yeah, defensive solution here. And the best thing that we can do is best thing we can do for attacking is Chevaliers have more movement, because you just wide formation them, and the chariot can bomb you, and they can dive into your unit, but they can still get popped, and they can still trade out with the cav charge. So just it feels like in T-War they have the larger purpose for me, but this stalwart thing is absolutely amazing. This needs to be spammed. Needs to be absolutely spammed.
The thing is, the standfast is situational, so it has a bit of skill to it.
It's sounding to me like damn near everything to deal with the chariot is exactly that. You have to land your ultimate at certain classes. You have to be paying attention with your unit to one-shot the chariot once they're dismounted, or they just get back on it or leave. Or so the more tools we have to have more situations where it's possible to do that, the more often
Here we
those
fucking
chariots
go,
will just
boy.
get fucking dropped, and we don't care.
Conqueror's Blade
Oh, there's a
Pastor,
chariot.
man.
We
This is it.
fucking kill it. Oh, there's another one. Hey, my thing's on cooldown, but my buddy behind me is ready to fucking deal with it.
Yes, we have waves of things that can deal with it. If a chariot is hurt already, the stalwarts will 100% reinforcing the point. They're gonna be like, stalwarts! Oh shit, I'm at half health. Boom, dead. Stalwarts survive. Push on the point. Like, it's like, you have to understand, we need waves of this coming in. And the waves of it coming in from the supply point, they're fresh off of timer. We're gonna create the situational into our own hands with our mustering.
And it's even worse for the chariot because we were only testing a 1 unit versus 1 unit. When there's 3 units balled up and the chariot slows down with each unit that it hits,
only
those
one
stalwarts that are
that.
CCM unit get even more damage off.
Yep. If only one of those units have to, like, what happens if the unit's not CCM immune? Does it just blow right through it and push them around?
Yeah, yep. It doesn't give a fuck.
So what happens is, so if we have them all balled and mixed, it's only going to take one of those units out of 3 units to have that ability off a cooldown to do it. Because what's going to happen here is that it takes damage though, right? Even though it pushes in, it takes some damage?
Right.
Or no?
The units, units trade damage.
So
where instead of the chariot not taking any damage and the unit taking tons of damage, both units take damage.
So did you guys, so testing the stalwarts without the CCI, how much damage would you say they did without the CCI immune, whatever, so them getting blown through? Did they trade a third of the health, 25% of the health?
No, maybe 3%.
Through with the standfast. A few like 4 to 5 red units in the red, but the rest still above average.
Sure. But I mean, like, how much damage did the stalwarts do just braced up against the chariot without CCI?
That's impossible.
3%. Okay, they don't do any damage to it at all.
Yeah.
Not with that knockback ability.
Right. So they do no damage to it. So even if we ball up a bunch of stalwarts, we have to have that situation. Okay.
Correct.
So the only solution to this is to buy time and to circumvent the cooldown on that. We need phalanx. Now the big thing is we can do with phalanx. This is gonna be not popular opinion, but we can C formation. We can F1 formation and C formation to cover wide areas with phalanx. And then we can at least get the damage out from the phalanx. If we did a bunch of C formation phalanx, you would understand that they would literally cover the battlefield. And
That's Sprillatron?
no, C follow.
Wait, what?
Yeah, C follow makes it makes ungodly. It makes a fucking bus. It's a semi train.
I just thought about it. The
That's
thing to note
creepy.
is the reason stalwarts do so much damage is that they're braced. So the faster something's going, the more damage they're gonna do. So if a chariot is slower and not as high up in momentum, they're gonna be doing a lot less damage to it.
Yes,
That's
but
what
if it's slowed down and the chariot hits them while it's slow, it's going to stop and quit being able to move. And if they're CC immune, they are going to get all of their damage off. Like the biggest problem with just the one-on-one charge of the chariot and the stalwarts is you're not getting the stalwarts' triple hit that deals massive fucking damage. If it's going slow enough for them to get that off, the chariot's fucked every time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Worth it.
So it just gets worse for the chariot the more units are balled up like that. As long as, like Seeker was saying, is one unit pops that CC immunity so that it can actually trade its damage to that chariot.
All it takes is one.
It should pop. It should pop. It should take some damage from something else. It should.
It'll be
You
so
just
low,
have
it
to
would
be
be
paying
crazy
attention
if
to
it doesn't
brace
get.
your stalwarts the proper direction and give them the CC immunity.
I mean, it's blowing through enough of our phalanx and taking damage at that rate. If we just continue the stream of phalanx and we are losing the phalanx to the damage trades, one well-placed stalwart should be able to just pop the rest of it. And if not, we need to have the fallback of what else is doing that, right? What else is able to put that damage down? We know that the Demand Arbalists do, and we know the Keen Footbows do. The Keen Footbows are completely erasing them, and it might be great for a defensive setup situation, but the Chevaliers are going to be this move and play type thing. You're going to be able to move them in, you're going to be able to plug and play. Charge them, it's the simple micro of 1, charge them down the lane, you hit the V, then you hit the 2. And they can just blow through a front line quickly. They put a lot of damage on the front line, and if a chariot becomes exposed, they just will put a ton of damage done on it, mixed with stalwarts. I think that having a couple of them, I mean, it's an interesting concept, but it could be the extra damage that we need onto a position like that. And that's something that's not. I'm gonna talk them up because of their multi-purpose. When in doubt, just use it like a cav unit, right? And all of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, man, we'll just fucking cav charge the point, right? And then go pull something. But if we can just simply mix stalwarts and phalanx, we will kill the chariots, no problem. We just need a lot of them. We can't, but we'll die to Spartans. So we need, Spartans to deal with Spartans too.
Well, time to farm
And chariots to deal
steadfast
with those
doctrines.
We need to have 2 chariots out at all times on our defensive setup to be cross-charging back and forth. That was phenomenal that we did today, and we need more of that. So we have 13 units to play with, and we have 2 chariots in play. So this is why our composition failed today, is because we have several chariots. We have at least 10 chariots in the composition of 28 people. We have probably 10 to 12 chariots.
That's a
You have
lot of
to think
chariots.
if that's well, right. So everyone else is running too, though. Everyone else has a lot of chariots. But think about now adding in the 6 specialties that we had, like the Flamers and Lion Roars. We had 6. We had 1 in each group, and we had 4 groups. I think we had 5 maybe total today, 5 or 6 total. We have that on top of maybe 8 to 10 or 12 chariots that we have, because I know we had Hack, we have Torpedo. I could count them all, but we have that. And then now we have other people running Outriders, or we have a couple of odd picks out there, right? 5 or 6. Or maybe like 3 or 4 odd picks out there, because I was running a couple of them myself to test. Then what we have at the same time, we have maybe a couple of Horangs or something. I don't know if we had today, but we did have a Horang out there. Now we have 8 Shield Maidens, so we have almost like 25 units, just not core unit. We have so many.
Yeah.
The chariots are now like overfilling us with specialty because they're replacing cavalry, but they're not like actually replacing cavalry, right? They're not killing things, they're disrupting.
Which we saw today. Like we got 2 to 3 good cav charges off.
Right, right. And that's the thing is like, okay, so we could go with cav, but if we don't do well at countering the chariots, then our cav become useless and can get interrupted and get headed off. We can't just spam cav like we could before. That's
Right.
why I'm
Can't do it.
saying,
You kind of have to think of chariots as like, okay, well, if we're all mustering in and we muster in 8 people with cav, it's not going to work out. It's the same as mustering 8 people in with fucking chariots. It's not going to work out.
Yep.
I mean, it's working on attack.
On
But
the attack, it
it's
works.
working. It's working if we don't pull the right ingredients to counter, which we had all Spartans coming in and no failings, which again, perfectly fine. They weren't able to make it to the point. They were getting headed. They were getting intercepted by 5 or 6 chariots, but they weren't even able to get to the points.
Yep.
That's the main thing. So, what we need, and again, I'm gonna say it, but I think the answer is Chevaliers, because if a chariot decides to charge you while you're charging in, you'll lose your cav, but you'll kill the chariot. You have
Well,
this
I mean,
fallback.
yes, because of the damage from the retinue unit to the chariots.
Yes.
But that's like a trade, and honestly,
That's all. That's all we're talking about here, aren't we? We're talking about trading out with them. I'd rather have a potential cav charge that gets, but if it gets countered, then I have the counter to it. At least if it's gonna kill my cav charge, I'm at least gonna take it with me. If I was to take Yaumin and Hussar and things, because he swears that he killed the fucking chariot with the Hussar charge. Maybe it was weak to begin with. We could test the Hussar charge into a chariot. Maybe it wasn't moving. I don't know what the situation was.
We could try it right now.
We can test it when it's test it right now while it's standing still. Test it. Keep testing things. What I'm telling you is this. In one hand, I have cav damage, can punch Spartans, weak failings, heroes. In my other hand, I have something that can punch a chariot. I walk up to the point, and now if you take away my cav option, I can still take away the chariot. So you have this trade out thing. If it doesn't, I get a cav charge off. And it's not the strongest cav charge, but it ramps up with the charger's trait. It ramps up exceedingly fast, and it is doing the same thing as a dagger axe and a hussar. It's just a slightly weaker hussar, slightly weaker everything. Doesn't have a mastery. It's basically a monastic knight. So here we go. We have someone rammed monastic knights up the fucking front today, and they got some kills. It can still kill heroes. It can still eliminate in T-War, and it can still put down a lot of damage at high speed, as long as it doesn't get countered by pikes. But if it gets countered by pikes, then we have the Arbalist shooting in, and the Arbalist will shred at failings without shields. Anything that's not shielded, it will shred. It shreds that, it'll shred heroes, and it'll shred the chariot. It just won't shred it through shields. At high speed, if the shields are just standing, or if they're marching, the Chevaliers will charge into it, and they will put down heavy damage. They will get countered by the Spartans charging in. So they will get countered. But when they stop, if someone can eliminate the Spartans after that, or if we have a chariot that disrupts the Spartans, then we get free shooting in, and we get free cav charge. It's about creating the situation with the recipe coming in. And I think that we need to be able to multitask, because we still need to maintain a high amount, a high stackability of the same core units. We cannot shy away from these. We cannot be taking in Shield Maidens and Silidars. If anything, an Iron Reaper might be the best because they're CC immune during their Tiger Step. So they might even be the best thing to throw, but they're slow. The Shield Maidens don't have any. I mean, even with their 4, even with their CCI, they don't win against chariots. They don't do what stalwarts are doing to the chariot with CCI. Does this make sense to everybody?
Makes sense. The only time I've seen shield
Okay.
mains actually be good is up on walls.
Yeah. On these 4 maps, we're getting shredded, and I've been kind of letting people get looser and go, but and like you guys know, but with the 2 Shenjis, we eventually need to get off of those Shenjis, right? They're okay for now, but they're not gonna solve our problem. They're not knocking the chariots, they're not doing enough damage to the chariots, and they're getting, they get run down. Eventually, it's like we aren't going to be able to sustain using that unit. Unfortunately, they had great viability, but this chariot is just it is blowing through our infantry so fast that having even just a little bit of specialty, we are just pulling away from our ability to hold space. And what's happening is heroes are dying and our musters being cut because we can't hold the space with higher stackability. The defense is too low, our heroes are dying instead.
I think no matter what, when it comes to bringing Shenjis over any other specialty, is that they're one of the most situational and, in my opinion, one of the worst. Because at that point, why not bring a cannon unit that can fire every like few seconds? Why not bring Cyphos that actually CC for more than a 20-second cooldown?
They are, yeah, right. They are the weaker of the options, but they are like budget, right? They're like, we consider them to be like new player budget, right? But the thing is that they did devastating amounts of damage to Phalanx, and they devastate Spartans, which are picking the comp. So you have a direct counter here. But they're just, right now, with Stalwarts, they kill Stalwarts. What's happening right now is that their guns are absolutely useless. All about the bomb, right?
Yep.
So what we have to do is we can't afford the slots. We're realizing that having this little pocket of specialty, ranged, and chariot, we actually can't overdo it. We can't overdo this pocket. It's the same way with our hero classes. We have too many poleaxes. We have too many medium armor, spear, and shields. We don't have enough heavy armors. And
We should consider doing I think a good idea with knowing that, we should consider doing a thing where we allocate however many units a 5 group can have dedicated to like specialty of like 2 units, and then have our core be like somewhere around 10 to 15, and then divvy out the rest for whatever misc. So like
and
so
it
I can
kind of is.
openly admit with our group we had Sauce run Shenjis, we had Iman run Shenjis, we had Droop run, what are they called, Outriders, and I was running Chariot.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is far too much when our core should be completely composed of like 3 of us should be just running Spartans, Phalanx, and Stalwarts. And then the last 2 should be running Spartans, Phalanx, and then a specialty after that.
Correct.
So there are only 2 specialties per 5-man group.
Yep. You almost need we have to put it in its own category. It's anti-chariot. So you almost need 1 anti-chariot and 1 specialty in each group. And like that number of them seems to be working. And I would even say if we have a specialty, we have to have the anti-chariot and the specialty together. That's how they have to play. So like a lion roar or a flame, they have to be together with the unit, with the anti-chariot, because the chariot's just diving them. And that's what happened to Panda's cannons today. I was supposed to be protecting them. I pulled maidens. I went to the wall. I finished up that fight with you guys. Then they rammed the chariot in on the supply behind me, and I wasn't there. And that was my bad. But like the thing is we can't afford any more slots. So the reason why the Phalanx is so strong is because the Phalanx are like, it's like playing Minesweeper for the chariot. They have to go around them. They can't directly engage them. Having the Stalwarts with this mechanic also gives us that same thing. We need to limit the mobility of the chariots by lane pressure, and then we can hone down into 2 or 3 anti-chariots, and we can just funnel them into where we want them to be. Put our keen football at the back of the X point, just shooting in for chariots on the point. Boom, blowing them up. Boom, blowing them up. Boom, blowing them up. But who's gonna protect the keen footballs from diving heroes? Who's gonna protect them from diving chariots on the flank? We need an anti-chariot with it. Well, what's the best anti-chariot? That's the question.
I mean, to be honest, you don't really need an anti-dive with them. They are their own anti-dive.
Quarrying paired with them sound like an excellent.
Quarrying would be the killer for heroes when their 3 is on cooldown. But with their 3 up, they can instantly one-shot a longsword at full health. And
but the cooldown is what we need to. The reason why the Chevys, why I keep saying the Chevys, they're on a 10-second cooldown. Their 2 ability is on a 10-second cooldown. The Arbalest can do, I think it's 3 rotations, and their full ammo is gone. I think it was 3. So they can do it 3 times with full ammo, and it's on a 10-second cooldown. You can do it every 10 seconds.
Does their
As long as
veterancy
the
affect
cav is what?
Does their veterancy affect them and whether they're in their like companion mode or whatever?
Yeah, yep. There's more damage. I think the bottom line gave more damage to the retinue. I can't remember.
Interesting.
I think I'll check it out right now. But
All right, stream. I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. We're just I'm getting pretty tired. Just check the batteries; they're getting a bit low, so we're gonna be calling it here. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're gonna keep working on this. We think we have figured out a plan of sorts to keep our unit choice under control. And it's in the works. So as you have heard if you've listened. So have a good night, everyone.